Listen closely. Not casually. Not half distracted. Not with one eye on your phone and one ear on me. Listen like your life depends on it. Because after this, you will never walk into a room the same way again. You will never hear another person's words without dissecting the motive behind them. You will never mistake a warm smile for genuine goodwill without first asking yourself, what does this person want from me? Your father didn't teach you this. Your teachers didn't teach you this. And the reason they didn't is simple, they didn't know it themselves. Most men will live their entire lives in a polite fog of half-truths and illusions, trained from birth to be predictable, agreeable, and safe. Not because that's what makes you a better man, but because that's what makes you easier to control. 5 centuries ago, in the ruthless courts of Renaissance Italy, a man named Niccolò Machiavelli broke that illusion. He saw what people actually do when no one is watching. He stripped away the noble speeches, the moral pretenses, the polite fictions. He wrote down truths about human nature so dangerous, so raw, that the Catholic Church banned his book. They weren't afraid it was wrong, they were afraid it was too accurate. And for 500 years, kings, generals, corporate titans, and political operators have studied his words in secret while condemning them in public. Because if the average man understood these rules, he wouldn't stay average for long. And here's the first thing you must understand. This is not philosophy in the safe, academic sense. This isn't a thought experiment for polite discussion over coffee. This is the operating manual for human behavior. It tells you what people really think, really feel, and really do, when stripped of the lies we tell ourselves to keep the world comfortable. So why didn't your father teach you? Because his father didn't teach him. Because generation after generation of men have been told that knowing how the game is played makes you corrupt, that strategy makes you manipulative, and that clarity makes you cynical. Well, I am here to make you cynical. And clear-eyed. And dangerous. Because ignorance is not a virtue, it is a liability. And weakness is a debt you can't afford. Truth 1, people aren't rational actors. Machiavelli wrote. Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see and few can feel. Translation, people choose what looks good over what is good. Humans are not machines calculating probabilities, they are animals reacting to pain, pleasure, and fear. They are not persuaded by what's true. They are persuaded by what feels true. Look around and you'll see it every day. The friend who begs for advice, agrees with you completely, then does the exact opposite, because the truth was uncomfortable. The coworker who claims to be broke but spends thousands on luxuries. Because the appearance of status feels safer than financial security. The woman who swears she wants a good man, but keeps choosing chaos, because stability feels boring compared to the rush of uncertainty. Lesson, logic is a scalpel. Emotion is a sledgehammer. If you want to move people, don't just tell them, make them feel. Facts can be ignored. Feelings cannot be forgotten. Truth 2, loyalty without reciprocity is slavery. Machiavelli warned. Since love and fear can hardly exist together, if we must choose between them, it is far safer to be feared than loved. Harsh. Yes. True. Absolutely. Your father may have told you, loyalty is everything. Here's the problem, without reciprocity, loyalty becomes self-betrayal. Ask yourself. That friend, who vanishes until they need a favor, loyalty. That company that calls itself a family, but fires you the moment the market dips, loyalty. That partner who demands commitment but keeps their own options open, loyalty. Real loyalty is mutual. It's a contract. When that contract is broken, your obligation ends. Strong men reward loyalty with loyalty. Fools reward betrayal with more loyalty, and then wonder why they get stepped on. Truth 3, reputation is your shield and sword. Machiavelli said. Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are. This is the first law of power: perception beats reality. The modern cult of radical authenticity tells you to show the world everything: your flaws, your weaknesses, your insecurities. That is not authenticity. That is handing your enemies a loaded gun. Strategic authenticity means showing only what strengthens you, and concealing what weakens you. Want to be respected? Speak less, act more. Want to be valued? Stop being available to everyone. Scarcity creates demand. Want to be seen as powerful? Never explain yourself to those who have no power over you. The formula is simple. Consistency plus mystery plus controlled vulnerability equals influence. Truth 4: Prepare for war in peacetime. Machiavelli was blunt. There is no avoiding war, it can only be postponed to the advantage of others. Conflict isn't rare, it's constant. It simmers under every workplace, every relationship, every alliance. Right now, someone is looking for a way to replace you. Testing your boundaries. Searching for weakness. The man who prepares for war before the war comes rarely has to fight, because predators prefer prey that bleeds easily. Build skills before you need them. Save resources before you're desperate. Forge alliances before you're in danger. Be the fox that sees the trap. Be the lion that makes wolves turn away. Truth 5: Strong masculinity versus weak masculinity. The biggest lie you've been told. Just be nice, and people will like you. Niceness avoids discomfort. Goodness faces it head-on. Nice men are predictable. Predictability is safe. Safety is boring. Women don't fantasize about the man who never challenges them, they crave the man who makes them feel alive. Nice men avoid confrontation. Good men have hard conversations. Nice men seek approval. Good men command respect. Strength coated with kindness is magnetic. Weakness coated with niceness is repulsive. The reality no one told you. Now you know. People are emotional, not rational. Loyalty must be earned and reciprocated. Reputation is a weapon. Conflict is inevitable. Niceness is not goodness. This is not about becoming manipulative, it's about refusing to be blind. It's about playing the game that's already being played around you. Machiavelli said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. But the one thing you must never be is ignored." Now that you've seen the truth, there is no going back. You can step away and return to the comfort of being harmless. Or you can step forward into the cold clarity of power. If you choose the second path, then this was just your initiation. Because the most dangerous Machiavellian principle is still ahead. How to make people desperate to earn your approval. Once you learn it, you will see it everywhere. And you will never be the same. Truth 6: Self-interest rules the world. Machiavelli warned. Men are ungrateful, fickle, false, cowardly, covetous. It's not bitterness. It's observation. If you've lived long enough, you've seen it. People's loyalty is conditional. It survives only as long as it serves their needs. The employee who stays loyal to the company until a competitor offers a slightly higher paycheck. The lover who swears they'll never leave until someone more exciting catches their attention. The friend who has your back until backing you costs them too much. This is not a tragedy, it's reality. Humans are wired for survival, not fairness. In every relationship, personal, professional, political, self-interest sits in the driver's seat. Application: stop expecting people to act against their own benefit just to prove their loyalty. Instead, design arrangements where your success fuels theirs. Tie their reward to your stability. Make your loss their loss. When you align their gain with yours, you don't have to trust them, you only have to trust their greed. Law: assume self-interest. Build structures that make betrayal expensive and loyalty profitable. Truth 7: control access, control power. In politics, in business, in seduction, power is rarely about constant presence. It's about withholding. When anyone can reach you at any time, you become ordinary. Predictable. Replaceable. Scarcity has been the oldest amplifier of value since the beginning of trade, and humans are no different than gold in this regard. A celebrity appears in public rarely, and when they do, the world pays attention. A CEO who answers every email personally is no longer a CEO, he's customer service. A lover who's always available becomes invisible. Application: make your time and attention the rarest currency in the room. Delay responses. Appear less frequently. Control your entrances and exits. Force others to plan around your availability, not the other way around. Law: your presence must feel earned, not assumed. Make it a privilege, not a commodity. Truth 8. People believe certainty over truth. You can be right and lose influence. You can be wrong and command it. Why? Because most people are not drawn to accuracy, they are drawn to conviction. The man who speaks with unshakable certainty will gather more followers than the man who hesitates, even if the latter is correct. History is full of leaders who swayed nations with passion, not proof. In war rooms, boardrooms, and bedrooms, certainty reads as competence, even when it's not backed by evidence. Application. When you speak, speak as if your words are law. Remove hesitations, qualifiers, and verbal crutches. Confidence is the door opener, competence is what keeps you inside once they let you in. Law: project certainty first. Deliver results second. People follow belief before they follow facts. Truth 9. The power of silence. Words can bind you. Silence frees you. Machiavelli knew that to speak is to commit, and to commit is to give away leverage. The less you say, the less you can be pinned down or attacked. Silence unnerves the insecure. It forces them to reveal themselves in the empty space. Negotiators know that the one who fills the silence usually loses ground. Interrogators know that silence compels the guilty to talk just to end the discomfort. Application. In arguments, resist the urge to explain yourself endlessly. In deals, let the other side speak first, and last. In seduction, let pauses stretch until they lean forward. Law: say less than necessary. Observe more than is comfortable. Let silence be the question they can't stop answering. Truth 10. Never outshine the wrong person. This is one of the most unforgiving rules of power politics. The insecure superior will not wait for you to replace him, he will destroy you at the first sign of threat. This principle, never outshine the wrong person, is a core tenet of strategic social and professional maneuvering, deeply rooted in historical power dynamics and still highly relevant today. It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the importance of timing and subtlety. The insecure superior. The passage highlights the primary antagonist in this scenario, the insecure superior. This is someone whose identity and security are so intertwined with their position that they perceive any rising star as a direct threat. They aren't looking for a successor, they're looking for a subordinate who will reinforce their status. When they sense a challenge, their first instinct is not to mentor but to destroy. The historical examples of banishment and execution, while extreme, serve to underscore the seriousness of this dynamic. The modern equivalents are firings, ostracization, and character assassination. Strategic subtlety and patience. The application of this rule is not about hiding your talent forever, but about managing its display strategically. It requires a blend of humility and long-term vision. Instead of openly competing, you should flatter your superior's ego. This doesn't mean being disingenuous, but rather framing your contributions in a way that makes them look good. For example, you might present a successful project as a direct result of their wise guidance or visionary leadership. This approach makes them feel secure, even indispensable, while you are simultaneously and quietly building your alliances, creating a network of support among peers and other stakeholders. Strengthening your competence, gaining the skills and experience necessary to eventually lead. Enhancing your reputation, earning respect and trust through your actions, not just your words. The moment to emerge. The final stage is the payoff for all this patience. When your power base is unshakable, when your reputation, alliances, and competence are strong enough that you no longer need your superior's favor, that is the moment to step into the light. This isn't a sudden, aggressive move, but a natural emergence that happens when you become the clear and undeniable choice for a more prominent role. You've earned the right to shine on your own terms, and by then, your position is so secure that your former superior's sabotage attempts will be ineffective. Ultimately, the law boils down to this: shine in a way that flatters those above you, until you can shine without them. It's a lesson in delayed gratification and strategic humility, a reminder that true power is not just about talent, but also about the wisdom to know when and how to reveal it.